I think it would be completely wrong to believe that Ireland would benefit if Britain were to take that step and leave. I think it would be the exact opposite, because you'd create great uncertainty around the relationship between the UK and Ireland, which currently rests on all the assumptions of a single market. It creates particular problems for north and south of Ireland, which, relations have got progressively better and trade's got movement of people. The last thing we need now is to disrupt that. So, you might conceivably gain opportunistically from an odd investor, but I think that has to be set aside a much bigger debit if we were to take that step. Well, I don't want to, dramatise the problem, because I think at the moment there is quite a positive outlook. As I explained to the conference, the Anglo-Irish relationship is significantly improved, trade flows have improved, and there is a lot of potential for Northern Ireland to benefit from that, from greater trade within the island of Ireland. But yes, it doesn't help them. We have accepted that there is a very messy, difficult job sorting out the country's economy. It was left in a terrible state. We inherited a banking crisis, we inherited recession, big structural problems, an economy that for far too long had become over-dependent on consumption, both private and government. So we have a common agenda in sorting that out. We do have differences within the parties. Ireland's had lots of coalitions. You've got one at the moment. For the UK, this is a novel experience, and there are differences. We are more on the kind of social democratic, centre-left approach to politics, and that shows itself in areas like taxation, where we have emphasised lifting low earners out of tax and getting more tax from the wealthy. But in terms of the core economic agenda, we have both signed up to deficit reduction, and we've stuck with it. I think in terms of the timing of a referendum, we went through this in Parliament, and I think we agreed, all parties agreed, that the most sensible time to have a referendum on whether Britain stays in or out would be when the relationship significantly changes, which would be if there is a major treaty revision, for example. And we have already agreed that. But I think arguing, 1 year either way, I don't think is now material. If it's presented in terms of reform, then there is a possibility of making progress. I think if it's just seen as a set of British demands, then it becomes much more difficult. But I think where we do agree, there is common ground in the government, and actually not just in our government, but I think yours in Ireland and others agree that there needs to be a substantial amount of reform. The single market, the bureaucracy around it. The single market's a great thing, but the bureaucracy is too onerous. We need to deregulate some of that. The common market agricultural policy has needed reform for a very long time, and it needs more. The budget and the financing of the Commission and the Parliament needs to be done on a much more austere basis. I think there's a significant area where we think reform is needed, and we think we have a lot of allies. I said before he spoke that the whole issue was proving somewhat damaging, but he has made his speech, and I think what I found positive about it, and about also the way he responded to it in Parliament, he's made it absolutely clear that he wants Britain to remain within the European Union and the single market, and I think that is extremely important that the leaders of the three main parties are agreed on that point.